Welcome back to Whiteboard Wednesday. We're on part 2 of our cybersecurity series, talking about great cybersecurity posture. So today we're going to drill deeper into administrative aspect of it. So Brian, why don't you walk us through, from an admin perspective,
you bet,
what are the critical elements and why are they so important?
So, and this is one I think that is frequently ignored, but adds a tremendous amount of value to an organization's posture because it introduces the structure around what we're saying we're going to do and then forces us to follow up on it. The admin section is talking about policies. So have an information security policy, have a data security policy, have an acceptable use policy, electronic systems use policy, whatever you want to call it. Work with your HR team, work with a business consultant, work with your MSP. I know when Netrio is engaged as an MSP, we can provide you with templates for this. So your MSP might have that capability, but come up with these documents. Force your users to read them, understand them, and accept them prior to accepting employment, right? And make sure they align with your business practice. The other piece of it is procedures. A lot of this applies to IT, but some of it applies to accounting or finance or sales. For instance, you should always have a policy and a procedure for when you get up from your computer to lock it. Hit Control-Alt-Delete and lock your computer. That way you're not stepping away to the bathroom and someone's leaving their QuickBooks up online, or their accounting software, or their latest sales opportunity, right? So have those procedures in place that help you ensure security. Documentation, right? So everything about how you're going to deal with data security needs to be written down, right? If I'm going to exchange data with someone, how am I going to do that? Like, is it acceptable for me to email a proposal in Microsoft Word format? Probably not. Proposals only go out in PDF. Business continuity and DR plans, everybody should have one. I think COVID taught everyone to go create one. I'm not sure a lot of people followed through on it, right? So now's a good time to do that. And then talk to your insurance carrier about a cyber insurance policy. It's just smart, right? It's like having insurance on your car. If you do have an incident or an event that occurs, you've got some coverage there to help remediate the issue.
So let me ask you this, Brian. So many industries these days have compliance requirements, especially as it relates to data protection, privacy. Does that really fit into this category? Is it umbrella kind of over govern all this, or both?
It fits everywhere, right? Because it affects everything you do on every device. But compliance is really more of a reporting exercise than it is necessarily a certification exercise. So it's really about, do you have the controls in place? Are you enforcing them electronically? Do your processes and procedures support what the controls mandate? So a lot of those would fall into here, but you could easily add compliance at the bottom of that.
Of the items coming up here that we'll be talking about in the weeks ahead, do you view this as really foundation?
I think it starts here because in order to set out and achieve a goal, we have to know what that goal is. And I think this is where you're defining that goal. So this is a great place to start. And like I said, there are a lot of templates available out there, on the internet, through service providers, I'm going to tell you about another one on our next series, a good resource for one. But there are ways you can do this without having to go hire a lawyer and author a document.
If you don't have this in place today, how long and what's the process look like to get
to go create that?
Those 6 items in place, 5 if you're not in a compliance-driven field.
I'd say if you have someone that can work on it, say 25% of the time, you could knock these out in a couple weeks.
And if you don't have somebody on staff and you want to enlist an MSSP like a Netrio, how quickly can your team help a company put those in place?
It's going to be much more quick than doing it yourself because we have the templates to use, we've got the business experience, we understand how to apply them to different business models, and we've got just the background to get the documents created much more quickly.
Excellent. Well, there you go, folks. First episode, diving deep into the elements of the security policy. Next week, we're going to be talking about end user aspects, which, as we talked about in the last episode, is of these areas the hottest risk right now.
Yep.
And so we're looking forward to talking to you about that one. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to hear more different topics, type them in the comments below. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thanks.